We mentioned Adele earlier on. She's in the midst of a social media battle after being accused of cultural appropriation. She shared a photograph of herself in a Jamaican bikini top with her hair in Bantu knots. Now, the singer posted the picture on Instagram, writing, "Happy what would be Notting Hill Carnival, my beloved London. GM. The photo prompted widespread criticism across social media platforms, with some critics describing her as profiting from black culture. Is the outfit cultural appropriation? What actually constitutes cultural appropriation? Let's speak to Afua Adom, broadcaster, with us now on the programme. Afua, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Nice to have you with us. I mean, firstly, what do you make of Adele anyway, regardless of this?
I mean, regardless of this, I'm a big Adele fan. I think she's amazing. She looks so healthy. She's
Yeah.
obviously reveling in that weight loss. And I think actually maybe that's more what the picture should be about rather than the Jamaican flag. I think it's the fact that she probably felt confident enough to wear a bikini top and a pair of leggings and post that picture in the first place. I mean, however she did it, she looks absolutely amazing and she looks like she is really happy.
Totally. That's exactly what I thought when I first saw that. I thought, wow, it's incredible, because she was one of those people that, we kind of loved her, regardless of whatever her shape, size was. That didn't really matter. She wrote great music. She performed great music. And then suddenly in the last, couple of years, she's obviously decided to get herself into a different level of fitness and looks amazing. And I saw that. And then I saw the comments about cultural appropriation. And then I did what I always have to do, Afua, in these moments, and go, I'm a pasty white bloke. What the heck do I know? So I could sit here all day and say, look, cultural appropriation, what a load of nonsense. And I'm sure you've heard the argument many times. But of course, because it's Adele, my starting point was I can't imagine she meant any harm.
I have to agree with you on that one. Now, Adele has always been someone who has supported the culture, quote unquote. She's always been an ally for Black people, definitely. And I genuinely don't think that she meant any harm. And also, when we talk about Notting Hill Carnival, which is what you referenced there
Yeah.
in the caption, that is an intrinsic part of culture in London. It's an intrinsic part of London life. It's a really big part of British culture. So she's celebrating what millions of people have celebrated in West London, all over London, over bank holiday. The first year it's ever been online is this year. It's an intrinsic part of London life. So I think she's not appropriating a culture. She's celebrating a big part of British culture, and celebrating the fact that Trinidadians and Jamaicans brought the carnival to London, and people of all cultures from everywhere have enjoyed it for years. That's what we're celebrating.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And a few people tweeted me, and I'm sure it's been said lots of times, and you may have seen it. It's what she's done here is not cultural appropriation, but cultural admiration. And I think that's probably where she was coming from. However, the wider question, cultural appropriate, because we see this, go around. When I was about 18 and I was considering dreadlocks, that would have probably, only because my mate Charlie had dreadlocks, so I thought, well, they look quite cool. Maybe I should have some of that. Firstly, I couldn't be bothered to grow my hair like that. Secondly, I would have looked stupid. But would that have been cultural appropriation had I done that?
Well, cultural appropriation is about adopting something from another culture, claiming it for your own, and not recognizing the roots of where it's come from. So we've seen many celebrities. I'm going to name Kim Kardashian, who once had cane rows in her hair and said that she was starting a new trend. But obviously,
And half the world thinks she's black. You do know that, yeah?
Oh, wait, exactly.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like to say that she's not. So that's another level of cultural appropriation. And she's notorious for it. And, when she had the cornrows in her hair, she ignored the fact that, it's been a hairstyle in Africa for hundreds of years. And she's trying to claim that it's a new trend. That's appropriation, claiming another culture from your own, for your own, profiting from it, and not acknowledging the roots of where it's come
from. But how
from.
do you deal with that? I mean, because she would say, well, look, if somebody asked me, I would say, yeah, this hairstyle its roots are in African hairstyling.
Kim Kardashian and she claimed that she had actually started a new trend.
What?
And
Well, that was easily rumbled, wasn't it?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you just had to open your eyes. But how you deal with that is just educating someone. Educating someone, educating a person, saying to them, "Look, actually, you cannot claim that serious because other cultures have been doing this, that, and the other thing for years." And we see this happen a lot with Black culture. Other people claiming it as their own and profiting from it, profiting from Black culture. It happens all the time, but we still have huge levels of systemic racism. So it's claiming the bits that you like and not claiming the bits that you don't like. And that happens all the time.
When it comes to I was just thinking of things like music, bands. There was UB40 back in the day that, a bunch of white guys. I think they might have had a black musician in their band, but essentially a white band playing reggae music. I mean, they clearly were not claiming that they'd invented reggae music. And what would that have been okay because there was enough body of demonstrable evidence that they weren't claiming that around them? Or is that also bad to play reggae as a white person?
Well, no, I mean, if you claim that you started it, it's your own and it's come from you, then that's different. I think UB40 always kind of reference where they got their influences from. And that, as I say, is fine. It's always recognizing where a part of culture comes from, and always acknowledging that and always giving that back to the culture. And I think actually with Adele, she has done that with this picture, and like I say, referencing Notting Hill Carnival and its intrinsic part of British culture. I think that's what she's done with this picture. And I definitely think that she absolutely meant no harm. As soon as I saw that she posted that picture, I knew that it was going to be tomorrow's headline.
Did you?
Oh, and I thought, Adele, they're going to come.
She does look darn good, though. There's no way around that. And I think you're absolutely right. Just where we started on this is that, we should, all be thinking, wow. I mean, if somebody is determined on getting themselves fighting fit and healthy, then there's a cracking example of it. Listen, Afua, thank you for being with us. Afua Adom, the broadcaster with us here on Talk Radio. I know that it kind of divides the room. It goes back to Kevin Dutton's point, doesn't it, about binary thinking. And that, I suppose, is because most of us think, well, if I did something that is associated with another culture, so if I went to a fancy dress party, we were talking about this at the office beforehand, with a massive sombrero on my head, I mean, anybody hurt? But does that matter? That's not me taking the mick out of a Mexican, is it? If I turn up with, I don't know, there's a difference, isn't there, between stereotyping, I suppose, and cultural appropriation. Whether you're taking something as kind of obvious as fashion or music as distinct from a trait. So if you go to a fancy dress party with a striped T-shirt and some onions around your neck, smelling of garlic and cheese, do people automatically, assume you're from Bromley? I don't know. France, sorry. They might do. Maybe they would. Does that matter if they did? Or is that stereotyping as distinct from cultural appropriation? We'll take